Okay, everybody, welcome to the go home show for Mayhem as we head towards the end of the Mayhem Tournament and a fun pay-per-view. So let's get going on Nitro. So we start with our pre-show match as we've got Dutton Rhodes and Jason Jett going over Lance Storm and Kaz in 1441 when Rhodes pins Kaz by pinfall to Flying Lariat. 73B minus, like just a match to get some people on the show, some ring time, just in case. So we actually start off with a match. Like I can imagine we do like the standard Nitro opening, then basically they throw right to the ring for the announcements, because this is the quarterfinal match. It's Sting versus Billy Kidman, and basically Sting defeats Billy Kidman in 9:55 pinfall, perfectly clean. Like I can imagine basically they put the fact that Sting's a smart, intelligent veteran. He doesn't fall for Misty's tricks. He hits the Scorpion Death Drop, gets the pin, and that's that. So 82B, actually a pretty solid match, because again, Sting's getting older, but he can still have good matches, especially short matches like this. So yeah, Sting moves on to the semifinals as he'll take on Scott Steiner, and then Sting celebrates, does a Showtime 84B plus. So then we go backstage, and basically Helms along with Reno and Cash is in Bischoff's office. He's still complaining about not being on TV as much as start IM should be, and Bischoff's like, okay, fine, you got knocked out of the tournament, but here's what I'll do for you. At Mayhem, we've got the space open, so we'll have a 6-man tag, you and your buddies, but you don't get to know your opponents until the pay-per-view. That okay with you? And Helm's like, yeah, it doesn't matter who we face, because they're either legends or never will be legends, and I'll take them all out because I'm the future of this business. Bischoff's like, fine, whatever, get out. I've got work to do. And then Helms, leaves 84B plus because Helms is getting over. Bischoff's charismatic, and there we go. So yeah, 6-man set. Shane Helms, Reno, and Cash versus 3 people, maybe perhaps 3 people who don't have anything to do on this pay-per-view since they were knocked out of a tournament recently. You never know. So then we've got, in a tag match, America's Most Wanted defeating Fit Finlay and Alex Wright. Yeah, I really didn't want to have Alex Wright come to TV. I back to TV like this after being attacked. But, we can put over maybe Finlay, help Wright, get back in ring shape after getting attacked by the Horsemen. Anyway, America's Most Wanted go over Finlay when Storm pins Finlay by pinfall with the 8-second ride in 625-65C, so a solid tag match. And then basically what we have, once I actually hit next correctly, is basically AMW can other promo on, LOD, go over look, we're the future of tag team wrestling. But on this roster, we still got 2 over, bloated freaks who think because they have some spikes on their shoulders and a painted face and it's still 1988 that they matter, when they don't realize it's a new millennium. They need to make space for us, and they need to hit the road, Jack. I'm sure there's some, fairground show in the middle of Oklahoma that some yokels will be happy to have you around, and blah, 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 blah. And then the LOD come out, AMW hit the skids, running into the crowd or away, and then LOD cut a promo, basically saying, yes, basically, we've been around for, a long time. We dine on danger, we snack on death. So, you call yourself America's Most Wanted. Well, at Mayhem, you're going to be just America's Most Dead, or something kind of, cheesy like that. 54C minus, so not too bad considering AMW really aren't over and LOD are, the LOD in 2002. Then we go backstage. Gene Okerlund with Scott Steiner. Steiner cuts a promo on Sting, saying, they faced off before and every time Steiner's won. So at Mayhem, it's going to be mayhem for you, Sting, and it's going to be mayhem for anybody else I face as I get back, what I deserve, a shot at the world title. 82B. And then here we go. So basically we have our big showdown. So basically Kanyon comes out with Joni. He's like, this isn't about Horseman. This is about me. This is about the guy who, hung around when it looked like WCW was going to be out of business. And when Bischoff said, when Bish in the back said, stay around, I'll give you a shot. And did he? Yes. I can't say anything mean about Bischoff. I had some disagreements, but at the end of the day, he gave me a shot. And what did I do? I proved that nobody's better than Kanyon. And at the end of the day, after I beat guys like DDP and Sting, I became the world champion because I am the best thing going in pro wrestling today. That's why Flair chose me as, a charter member of the New Horsemen, and that's why I'm going to lead WCW into the future as we get back to where we belong. Hit the Smells Like Teen Spirit ripoff. DDP comes out. He's like, he basically was like, Kanyon, I brought you into this business, and I can take you out of it. Kane's like, I did this all on my own. Just because we're both from New Jersey doesn't mean like you have some like mysterious cut of my business. They argue more. Kane's like, nobody better than me. I'm going to still be world champion. DDP's like, at the pay-per-view, you're going to feel the bang, and I'm going to be back on top as world champion. And basically, they have a stare down, and but no actual fighting because officials get between them. 97 A-star. So there we go. And then we go to the ring where we got Jordan Cole going over Cena Busick, who's on my developmental roster, in 504 by pinfall, 52D+. Beth Phoenix was on commentary, doing the basic commentary gimmick for the three-way women's match. And then basically we have Lexi trying to do a run-in on Cole from behind, Phoenix trying to save, Phoenix doing the save, and then we have a three-way showdown based between Phoenix and Cole in the ring, and then James on the outside of the ring yelling at both of them. 60C, because it's in the Southwest where all these girls are really over, because that's where where the, women's developmental fed is set. And they can go on, and basically we have, like, a quick, like, basically backstage segment where, like, Jet's backstage, like, doing some training, Tajiri comes up, and like, they sort of stare each other down for a second, and then, like, Tajiri does his own training, and then Kaz comes in, and he, like, acts like he's going to maybe attack him both, then he's, like, sort of shrugs and does his own training. They're, like, sort of just, like, like basically completely silent, because, like, these guys can cut promos, and they're, like, both, like, in like, the gym at the arena, like, both doing their own training, and, like, sort of quickly, like, over the next, like, couple minutes, they, like, do some more training, and, basically, eventually, like, basically it ends when, like, Kaz gets upset, and he goes to attack Tajiri, but Jet stands in front of him, and then, it's a three-way sort of stare down as the segment ends. 55 C-. Then backstage, we've got Palumbo, we got Kidman basically running into Palumbo, and Palumbo's like, hey, Zaya lost to Sting. Guess you're out of the tournament, right? And Kidman's like, what's your point? As, like, see Keebler and Misty start staring each other down. And Palumbo's like, well, you're out of the tournament now. You beat me. So I talked to Bischoff, and, you deserve a U.S. title shot. I may not like you. I may not like the way you beat me, but, nonetheless, you beat me, buddy. But so that's why at Mayhem, I'm going to take the U.S. title, and I'm going to beat you and remind you, put you back in your place, bud. Kidman's like, oh, great, thanks. And, yeah. And then basically, then Misty's like, makes out with Kidman, and Palumbo's like, shrugs at Stacy, and they both walk off. 66 C+. Then we've got Ric Flair defeating Rob Van Dam in 12:07 and another quarterfinal by pinfall following interference from Mike Awesome. So remember, RVD beat Mike Awesome last round. So Awesome comes out, basically, like, interferes, allows Flair to get the pinfall. So that's a 79B. So a solid match. And yeah, Flair's like, let's be honest, this is Flair's last run as far as being a full-time wrestler. And then basically Awesome, like, so Flair rolls out, heads off on his back, doing silent profiling again. Awesome tries to kill RVD, but Ray Jr. saves with basically a chair-assisted dive that knocks Awesome back. That allows RVD time to recover. And then, there's basically a showdown, and, basically Ray Jr. grabs Mike, says, like, okay, I saved RVD here. Awesome's, you have your problems with RVD. I've got problems with your old tag partner, Lance. Or, more importantly, he has problems with me. So why don't you take on me? So why don't you find Lance, reform Team Canada, and then I'll team up with our V, D, and we'll have a tag match at Mayhem. Awesome nods, and basically after commercials, we'll say the matches have made. ADB. So it's actually pretty solid considering none of these guys are like great talkers, And then we have like a really good promo. It's basically we have the whole Horseman backstage, and this is basically like a final like sort of heat up promo for the pay-per-view. So Kanyon, just has the world title while they're like rubbing his shoulders. Then Flair cuts his, a wild Flair promo saying, woo, Goldberg, you think you're the man? You think I'm next? I'm Ric Flair. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the dirtiest player in the game. Do you think just because, you're back and you're being hyped by everybody, but you've forgotten this company's still run and will always be run by the Horsemen. So you do your long walk long walk from the locker room. You walk through the sparklers. Doesn't matter unless you're in the ring, with the dirtiest player in the game. I'm just going to win, and we're going to make sure that the world title is protected. Woo! And then Douglas and Jarrett cut a promo on air raid saying, kids, you think you're special just because you won a couple matches? Well, we've been around forever. Jeff's like, I was wrestling, I was training for wrestling when you guys weren't even bored. Doug was like, I created a whole new generation of Extreme. So if you think you can take tag belts off us, think again. And basically 89A as we do the, final like sort of heat up promo for Mayhem. And then Booker T does a quick in-ring promo, calling out Vampiro as we set up like basically the main event tonight and the last quarterfinal. And then that gets an 83B plus. And then we do, okay, well, so actually I want to see what happened here because I just want to see, okay, everybody does well booked, okay. Ooh, okay. So, really low heat? Okay. Okay. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Anyway, so Vampiro defeats Booker T by pinfall in 2044 with a nail in coffin following interference from Macias. So you can imagine how this goes. Main event styles match, hot finish. Ref gets Destructor knocked out. Macias comes in, hits his crucifix powerbomb on Booker. Vamp then hits the nail in coffin and gets the pin and advances into the semifinals at the pay-per-view. So that's 78B. Then in the show, we have Deadpool basically in the ring trying to destroy Booker, Vampiro, Macias, and Lestat. But here comes the Wolfpack. That was a bad rendition of that song. Anyway, Nash makes a save. The Deadpool scatter. Now just put over, that the big, semifinal matches, Vampiro versus Nash, Goldberg versus Flair, Sting versus Steiner. One of those 6 men will have a guaranteed title shot of their choosing after Mayhem. So we end the show, and 86B plus. So it's all like not the great shows we've been having, but still a pretty solid show that like allows us to increase popularity. And let's just see if Raw did anything super interesting. Survey says, okay, yeah, we'll get that in a minute. Well, actually, first let's check out, okay, Tenkoji won the Super Tag League, defeating Nagata and Fujinami in the finals, in a really good match. Okay. Now let's look at Raw. Okay, so we got Austin going over Bubba by countout. Okay. Angle going over Dreamer. And then Big Show defeating Triple H. Okay, that gets an 89A, because of course it does. Regardless, let me see here. Anything else interesting? Nope, okay. Just people want out of... Ooh, let's see here. We got Rob Van Dam thinking Drew has charisma. Nash, well, you're right. I mean, when you're right, you're right. Even though you're being an asshole about it. Ice Train wants out of developmental. Other women want out of developmental. I think, yeah. These are expiring. Okay, cool. Anyway, that's all for now. Next up will be the pay-per-view. So to go over things again, we've got those 3 semifinal matches in the Mayhem Tournament. Kanyon versus DDP for the world title. Billy Kidman versus Chuck Palumbo for the U.S. title. Air Ray taking on Jared and Douglas for the tag titles. a 4-way involving Morningstar, Jet, Kaz, and Tajiri for the Cruiserweight title. A 6-man tag involving, Shane Helms, Reno, and Cash versus 3 mystery opponents. Then we got a tag match between Ray Jr. and RVD taking on the reformed Team Canada, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. And a women's 3-way between Lexi James, the champion Beth Phoenix, and Jordan Cole. And I believe that's it. Might be missing one match, but I think, yeah, that's actually it. Anyway, that's all for now. So if you go ahead and give it a like, if you're enjoying this, comment below, any thoughts you have, and subscribe to the channel if you've been enjoying this. After this, it'll be Mayhem, and then we're on the final road to Starrcade. So anyway, that's it. See you later. Adios.